Put him under the kettlebell. He is the kettlebell.
Your mom's a kettlebell. Oh. So glad I tuned in for that.
Welcome back.
Oh, we're back already?
Yeah, we're back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We're back.
It's been a week.
Nice. It
Yeah.
has been a week.
It's been something.
Oh, my God.
I'm liking how the podcast keeps turning out with more and more stuff.
Yeah.
Soon it's going to be better when we have our other things.
Living the way that I'm living is finally starting to get to me.
Yeah.
It's finally... I'm finally starting to feel unraveled.
Oh, yeah. Cheers. Good luck. Try it, Soren.
Anyways. You mess with a bull, you get the horns!
Yeah. Professional alcoholic over here for
Retired.
a number of years.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
When I...
But your ability to drink stuff
yeah.
and just
I'm
guzzle it down
I'm a
your throat.
consumer.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
When I walked away from the game, they raised my bar stool up into the rafters, and
Where's the bar stool from?
they it would be Dive Bar 96 would be where I retired from. That's you play for many.
Is that the last place you had a drink?
No.
Okay.
You play for many teams over the years. When you have a career like mine, but in the end, you retire from like your real home. I feel like my dive bar in New York was my like home, my home spot. It was the first of all, I never really lived anywhere for very long. Like
Yeah.
once I left my house to go to Western,
Yeah.
I just never lived anywhere very long at all. So I spent 10 years like traveling around, and then I'd randomly like in that 10 years like take 6 months off or whatever, go
Yeah.
to school for a semester or something. I got a couple of leases, and then I would just like give them to somebody else to like finish them out because I
Yeah.
would leave. So like my buddy Phil, shout out to Phil.
Yeah. Phil's a big name.
He's a big name. I just gave him my apartment for like the last 2 or 3 months of the lease.
Like paid for and everything? Or
Yeah, I think
you
I think he like threw me some money.
Yeah.
But I was just like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And then I'd done that a couple of times, but I never really lived in one spot. So like I would go back to Kalamazoo, you know what I mean, all the time because my friends were still in school there, and
Yeah.
I love Kalamazoo. And so I would go back there to visit, and like obviously I'd go to Bell's. Up and Under used to be really sweet. I don't know about now, but it used to be really cool. I went back to Kalamazoo 2 years ago to help Will qualify for AmNats
Yeah.
in the wintertime, and Kalamazoo has changed a lot. It's really like blossomed. They have like just a bunch of shit there now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But there were like bars and stuff that I would go to, but I was never there like consistently enough. Like when I lived there at one point, like I dated like the hot bartender in town.
Yeah.
That like because I was at the bar enough. But basically like the dive bar by Columbia when I lived in New York was like my longest stretch home bar, and it was for professionals.
Yeah.
Like it was the same people at the bar almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like how many regulars were there, do you think?
20.
Okay. And
The
they're
whole bar, right, except for like touristy days.
Mhm.
First of all, you're nowhere near tourism because you're on 96th and Broadway, so you're like up from tourism.
Okay.
Washington Heights basically starts just north of Columbia.
Okay.
So Columbia goes up like campus, whatever. The road that goes through campus is 116th Street.
Mhm.
And so Eisenhower, after he won World War II, came home, had a little break, then became president of the United States. Then after he was president of the United States, he became the president of Columbia University.
Okay.
As his gift to Columbia University, he closed a block of 116th Street and just made it part of the campus. So it's like super cool. Like
Yeah.
that's like the actual like campus part because it's in New York City.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's like it's not like U of M where there's like the quad and you know you got all this shit going on. But just north of Columbia is then like Washington Heights, and it used to be really bad. Like even back before Giuliani, like if you went to Columbia, like you just never left the gates of Columbia.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like the fucking hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit.
So so it's not a touristy area.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Back in
big
the
time.
back in the day, you never left. Like there's
Yeah.
like wrought iron gates and security and all that stuff, and like
Yeah.
you would just go to Columbia and spend your 4 years in New York, like
Yeah.
on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was New York? I don't know. Columbia was sweet.
Columbia's sweet.
Mhm.
But besides that, so there's not really a lot of like tourists, but you'll get like, you know, St. Patrick's Day and New Year's and stuff like that. There'll be like people coming through, and then randomly you'll get like pockets of people going there. But for the most part, there was like 20 out of the 30 people that were there all the time, there every day.
Yeah.
And there was like a handful of people that were there every day. And there was like one window in the front. It was just kind of a longer, you know, like a New York style bar. It's just like a longer, narrow bar. And then there were like reoccurring guest star roles where we probably had like another 20 to 30 people that like would stop in from time to time.
Yeah.
And then all the people that worked there and the people that they were dating. And that was it. That's like the whole thing, and everybody kind of knew people's drama and shit. You know what I mean? Like Yuka would come up there and be like
Yeah.
all pissed off at me or whatever, and everybody like knew what was going on, and it was funny. I ended up getting in a fight with one of the bartender's boyfriends because he was just kind of a douche, and someone asked me to apartment sit.
Yeah.
Which is like a bad idea, anyways.
Yeah.
So I apartment sat, and then I just had,
At least at the time.
I just had like the people from the bar over the apartment, and we all got trashed. And then dude's name was Caleb. Decided he wanted to like wrestle around because he
Yeah.
outweighed me by like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude, let's go, bro.
Yeah.
And I got him in like a chokehold, and then I let him out of the chokehold, like because I had him, like I had it secured up,
Yeah.
and like I let him out of it, and then after that he got like,
Salty.
I'm gonna show you whatever, and then was
Yeah.
just like waiting on me, like just like throwing his weight on me, and I was kind of like pinned on the ground or whatever, so I bit his thumb like real hard.
Really?
Yeah, and then he got super pissed and took a swing at me. And then, like, I got up and we kind of got split up. And I was like, all right, dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was a little awkward at the bar. But everyone was real happy that I did it because, like, everybody fucking couldn't stand the guy.
Yeah.
And everybody loved the bar.
Way to bite his thumb.
Yeah.
Nice.
I owed her my life because she would always give me the $13 bar tab.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Oh.
drinking in New York's super expensive.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, no matter what, my bar tab was always like $13.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Which was key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that was the thing about the bar.
Why $13?
I don't know. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And there's just something about like that bar. Like the dude that owned the bar, his last name was Seinfeld. I think it was like Andrew Seinfeld was his name.
Mhm.
And he would come in from time to time.
Yeah.
And he was like good with the money that the bar made.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like he obviously wasn't really that involved because like all of the regulars were drinking on a plan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like no one's paying for all their drinks.
Yeah.
Like even close, you know,
Yeah.
because like the whole bar, it's a bar of regulars. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, I don't know. But mine was always $13. And then the other bartender who I couldn't stand, well, I didn't have the bigger problem with her. She hated my guts. She'd always charge me like every dollar for every
Yeah.
fucking drink possible. Yeah.
What were the differences in bar tab? Like you get your $13 from
Well-
bartender 1. Bartender 2 gives you everything. What like
70. Like $70. She hit me one night.
oh my.
Yeah. She would sometimes give me like a little bit of a deal, and then
$1 off here and there.
yeah, like
Yeah.
whatever. But like yeah, she would just hit me up. I remember the one time I was there, and she banned me from the bar.
Really?
Yeah, and like all of the regulars and the other bartenders and everybody had to petition the owner There was a list of people banned from the bar. That was
Yeah.
like 4 people. Like,
You were one of
and
them?
it was like a heavy drinking bar. Like
Yeah.
people did fucked up shit, and like you
Yeah.
just never got banned. And then I got banned, and then everybody like came together to like support it. So then I was banned. I just couldn't go. I wasn't banned. I just couldn't go on Sundays or whatever day it was that
Yeah.
she bartended. Like I just had to not.
You were
go
just banned from her.
from her shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got set up, big time.
How'd you get set up? What happened?
I was up there with a friend of mine. We were playing darts. So it was a dart bar,
Yeah.
and we would bet like heavily on darts.
Yeah. Is yours sticky too?
No, I just made
Oh.
yours sticky.
Oh, thanks.
So it was a dart bar, so we would bet on darts.
Mm-hmm.
Bob the stockbroker, big coke problem,
Okay.
sweaty guy,
Yeah.
really good at darts.
Nice.
And then there was like 8 dudes, and then people that would come in would be like, which I always thought was really weird because it's like, I don't know. I guess when people come in, they don't know that we're all regulars.
Yeah.
But like people come in and they're like, oh, well, then they'll start playing darts. Then we'll go over and like start playing darts, and then you just kind of hustle them.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you guys want to play for some money? And then just,
Yeah.
just go crazy. Play for bar tabs and stuff, and then they're paying every dollar for every drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Whatever. But I was playing darts with a friend of mine, and this girl who was like very good looking came over, and she's like, I'd never seen her before, but she came over and she was like, hey, you're really good at darts. I've never really played before. And I was like, oh. I was there with a friend of mine. My friend was a girl, which I thought was
Yeah.
really like aggressive that this girl had come over. And I was like, yeah, it's not that hard. You just gotta, whatever. And I just like was like saying something about playing darts. And she was like, oh. She's like, oh, I'd really like to learn.
Yeah.
She just gave me this look, and I was like, well, I could show you sometime if you want. I was like,
Yeah.
well, do you want to play? And she's like, yeah, let me go grab my drink. And then she like walked over to grab her drink, and I told my friend, I was like, you should probably go home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Like it
my
was
God.
super obvious that this was about to get like really like
Yeah.
it was bizarre.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you should probably go home. She's like, yeah, I'm kind of tired anyway. So I was like, okay, that's probably a good idea. So she leaves. Other girl comes over, and like I'm
The
playing.
friend you were with was
Just a
like,
friend.
Okay.
Just a friend.
Totally cool with it.
Yeah, really good friends with a girl that I had like just started dating,
Okay.
but we weren't a couple.
Yeah.
She lived out of town, so we both had like, it was very clear, like, if you want to do something, you can do something. If I want to do something, I can do something. But this is her best friend, so that's why I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you should go home.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, I got this.
I got this. I know where this is going. you
Yeah.
know? So anyways, so I'm like, I like teach her how to throw like a couple darts, and she's like, well, show me how to hold it and whatever. And it was like, whatever. It's like a TV show or something, like just really super cheesy.
Yeah.
And then every time she like hit the board, she'd like give me a hug and whatever. And I was like, okay. So anyways, we played a couple games. Bartender's mean mugging me real bad. And I was like,
Really?
yeah. And she's like, she goes, oh, do you come here a lot? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. I live like a block away.
Yeah.
And this is the bar that I drink at. And she's like, oh. She's like, yeah, my friend's the bartender. And I was like, oh, your friend? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, how long have you guys been friends? And she's like, oh, we've been friends for like 6 years, blah, blah, this and that. And I said, oh, she does not like me. And she goes, oh, I don't think that that's the case. And I said, oh, no. Like very clearly, she does not like me. Like
Yeah.
I get the very clear feeling that like, I don't know if I remind her of somebody. I don't know like what it is. And she's like, oh, I don't think so. And I said, no. It is what it is. I said, it's fine. Like everybody doesn't, I don't have to have everybody like me. Play some more darts. Can't smoke in the bar. I was like, I'm going to go outside and smoke. She goes, okay. So we go outside to smoke, and like I'm standing there smoking a cigarette. She comes out I go outside, light up. She went to grab her cigarettes from the bar. She comes out as I'm standing there already smoking. She comes out to light her cigarette, lights her cigarette, and then just turns and like plants this like big kiss on me.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, all right.
Nice.
So we're on Broadway because it's
Yeah.
96 and Broadway. So we're on Broadway. So I was like, let's just see where this is gonna go. So I just like went for it.
Yeah.
So we started like making out really hard on the street, and then like I moved us down a little bit, like 20 feet. So we were on like the backside of this ATM because there's ATMs on the street in New York.
Yeah.
So it's like one that would be in a convenience store, but it's on the street, so it's got like a little metal thing around it.
Yeah.
Whatever. So there's like 6 other people outside smoking. So we just moved to the other side of the ATM, like it's some kind of shelter.
Yeah.
The grate like the thing that roll down in front of the store to protect the store
Yeah.
that you lock is
Yeah.
down next
Okay.
to it. So we're like up against that, like making out, and you can hear like the grate, like bam, bam, and
Yeah.
so we start making out and this and that, and like I don't know. I start like removing her clothing,
Yeah.
like on Broadway. So like she's fine with it. She's like
Yeah.
totally fine. So
Yeah.
whatever. So there's some like explicit nudity and activities taking place.
Nice.
Like on the street.
Nice.
All of a sudden, the bartender comes outside from behind the bar.
Yeah.
Comes outside and says, "What the fuck are you guys doing? Oh no, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You can't do this out in front of the bar. You gotta go.
Yeah.
Get in here and pay your tab." And then she went back in the bar.
Yeah.
So like we kind of like clean, like get everything up. First of all, we're not in
Oh,
front of
shit.
the bar because we're on the other side of the ATM.
Yeah.
Gray area, whatever. So she like gets all dressed back up. I get all dressed back up. Like we're ready to go. So as we're walking in, she goes, she goes, "Oh, do you think I can get your phone number?" And so I don't know. I got to go inside and like solve this because she's obviously like super pissed.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe you could say something to her for me because you're her friend.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, okay." So we go inside, and I was like, "All right." She's like, "You got to get the fuck out of here." Blah blah blah, this and that, whatever. You're banned and all this other stuff. And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "How much are you?" She's like, $70. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
So because I was broke. So I give her the money. I go to leave. Her friend is just sitting on the stool at the
Yeah.
bar, just sitting there. Didn't say shit. Not like, "Hey, it was my fault. Hey, I instigated this. Hey," nothing. Didn't say anything. Just sat on the stool. I walked by her. I was like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
And I walk by and I walk outside, and she comes outside and she tries to get my phone number. She's like, "Hey, so do you think I can get your phone number?" And I was like, "No,
Yeah.
no, you can't get my phone number." I was like, "Dude, that's your friend.
Yeah.
You could say something to her and like do something."
Yeah.
Instead, now I'm banned from like the bar that I go to hang out at,
Yeah.
and you didn't even say anything.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I'm out of here. I'm going home." So I went home, and then I went back a couple days later because my friend was bartending, and I was like, "Hey, Sage, blah blah." She's like, "Dude, you got banned?" I was like, "I got set up.
Oh my
Anyways,
God.
so yeah, that was that. It was super awkward when I graduated because like my whole family came. And like they were like, "Well, I want to go see where you hang out." And I was like, "Well, let's go try it," because I didn't know who was working that day. And I went,
Yeah.
and she was totally working.
Really?
So like my mom was there, my brother was there, everything. She made like a shitty comment. I was like, "No, whatever. We can go somewhere else." Like we had a drink, and I was like, "Oh, let's go somewhere else."
Were they surprised that you were banned?
She didn't say that I was banned,
Okay.
but she just made like a shitty comment to me, and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah. We.
thanks for that." In
Thank-
front of my family, I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Did
yeah.
you ever run into that girl ever again?
No,
No.
no,
Yeah.
no. I never saw her again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Sad.
late. It was late in the game because, yeah, it was summertime, and then, yeah, I want to say that was like June, and I left New York like the end of November.
Okay.
So I didn't see her that much after. I didn't see her after that, and then just the amount of time I spent at that bar was kind of limited. Not limited a lot, limited
Yeah.
a little bit because
Yeah.
I couldn't go up. And she probably just went up to that bar. Like I'd never seen her there before, and I'd been going there for like a few years. At least I'd never like noticed her before. And I think that she just went up to visit her friend. So the nights that she may have swung by there, I wasn't up there anyways
Yeah.
because of the banning. So that was that. That was that. But
Ah.
anyways, that's where they retired my stool.
Yeah.
They rose it up into the rafters and
Yeah.
shut it down. The last place I ever had a beer last place I ever had a drink was Dick O'Dow's in Birmingham.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I walked from Dick O'Dow's to my car, and I just got followed by a cop like the minute I got in my car. It was
Really?
it was 2:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they knew,
Yeah.
So
Big time.
yeah, they had it out for me. I was under surveillance.
Did you know that was going to be your last beer?
No, but I was good with it. It was a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I went out for my uncle's birthday, Bernie.
Yeah.
We went out, and then he went home because he didn't want to get drunk driving. And I was like, and then I went out and got one. It was like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Winners win. And so that was it. But no, I had fun. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. It wasn't that good of a time, but it was good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, That was
Stories from Darren's past.
yeah.
Always a good time.
The banning was a great story. It's a little bit more involved, but this is on the internet forever, and I don't want to get into it. But
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah, it was super funny though. It was just super funny to know. Like the minute that girl walked over, I was like, "You should go. This is about to get really bad." Like
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, it did. I've only been kicked out of a bar like in my whole life, like 3 times, and that was one of them.
Nailed
Yep. I got kicked out of a strip club in Canada. Cheetahs, I think is the name of that
Oh,
place.
shit.
Yeah, for sleeping.
What?
I'm not a strip club guy. It's just
Yeah.
not my thing. I was
Yeah.
going like crack jokes and whatever.
Yeah.
But I it's like the grossest part of capitalism to me.
Yeah.
Is like this person like selling people. I don't know. Like the way that I look at it is just it's gross.
Yeah.
And I've since like one of my buddies got married and I went to the strip club with them.
Yeah.
One of my buddies from New York, so we went to New York, and this is after I got sober. And I went to the strip club with our buddy. I'm not gonna use his name.
Yeah.
But he was like, "You're not holding up your end of the bargain." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's a mutual agreement that like you don't break the fourth wall, right? Like she acts like you're really like attractive and interesting
Oh, I remember.
and
this.
entertaining,
Yeah.
and you bring to the table that you believe her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you say stuff, she acts interested,
Yeah.
and then like your end of the bargain is like you just believe that she's actually interested. Like
Yeah.
the two of you,
While knowing that's not even
none of
close
it,
to the
right?
case,
She
yeah.
knows that you're not attractive and interesting, and you
Yeah.
know that she's lying.
Yeah.
But the thing that you bring to the table is like you both go along with it. You're both playing a role.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're violating that by like bringing in your doubt, like by it's a suspension of disbelief. It's like you're going to the theater. And like just the way that he explained it, I was like, you spend too much time at strip clubs, dude.
Oh, big time. Yeah, when you know the unwritten rules.
Yeah.
You're involved.
Yeah, or how to make it, because I was really surprised because one is a really good dancer because we used to go dancing from time to time, and like he's a really good dancer.
Yeah.
He's a good looking dude, and he's really funny, and he has a good job.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, why the fuck are you hanging out at strip clubs? Like once that, like he said, like, oh, I love the strip club, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because I just never got it. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, it's fun. He's like, it's fun. Like it's fun to play. You
Yeah.
know? And I was like, yeah, I just don't. You know?
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I've been to the strip club one time
Yeah.
with my stepdad because it was like, let's whatever. And it's like, I've never been.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it, we'll go. And we went to, I think it's on Gratiot, like the Palace, not the Palace, whatever the fuck it's called. And it was just like, I've never been interested, like,
Yeah.
anywhere past, like, I really want to go. Because there's always, like, I've gone past some that are just like, there's no way the people that are in there are even, like, remotely attractive. And
Yeah.
then just, like, stories that I hear, so on and so forth. And then finally it was just like, all right, fuck, like, I have the opportunity. I can just go and just kind of see what one's about. And it was just, like, really plasticky and kind of gross. And then the people that were in there were just, like, super sleazy and, like, not that my stepdad's sleazy or his friends are sleazy, but they're, like, kind of sleazy.
Yeah.
But, like, I think that comes with the territory of being a guy. Like, you just get that version of a guy at some point in time.
Yeah.
And then one of his buddies, he owns, I forget the name of the company, but he's the president of, like, this Italian food that makes, like, frozen stuff that you can go buy that he sells to restaurants. So he's got lots of money, and he just, like, shovels it over. So he's got, like, his couple like, he's got the number one chick there always.
Yeah.
And he's not, like, a good-looking guy. Nice guy, super nice guy. But, like, that whole setup is just, like, weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And then just, like, the girls are so fake. Like, I want to kill myself. Like, I don't know how more to describe it. And
Yeah.
I was like, I think I'm just good. Like, I saw some tits. I saw some butts. I saw the fakeness. And then, like, in reality, like, the best one there wasn't even, like, that attractive.
Yeah.
And then, like, she's kind of, like, trying to be bubbly to me. And it was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like I'll talk to you like a normal person, and then that's it.
My thing when I would go before, when I was like late teens, early 20s, when I would go, was always be for like somebody's birthday.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Or like some occasion, like we would go. Even when I went to Cheetahs and I got kicked out,
Yeah.
all my buddies from Kalamazoo, we would all meet and go to Canada for Christmas and go to like the strip club. We went 2 years in a row. And the first year we went is the year I got kicked out for sleeping, because it's like I'd rather just hang out with those guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I hadn't really been smoking weed because I had been like working a lot, and then like we all got together, and I think I like smoked a bowl or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was just like tired, and then
Yeah.
like the strip club's not going to pull me out of that. Like I got there and I was just like, oh god,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I doing
Yeah.
here?
I'm just gonna go take it.
Yeah, and all my buddies are like, oh, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I was at the rail, like at the front stage, like
Yeah.
sleeping.
Really?
Yeah, the guy's like, you can't sleep here. I
Were
was
you like head down into the table or like back into the chair?
no, I had my head down. I had my head down.
Really?
And then
Oh
the
my
guy
God.
kicked me off the rail, and then I went to like a table, and he's like, you can't sleep here, and I was like, I won't. And then I put my head down and went to sleep, and then he came over and he's like, dude, you got to get out of here. And I was like, sorry guys. I didn't even get kicked out for being rowdy. Just got kicked out for sleeping.
Yeah. Which
yeah.
is still hilarious.
Which is
Yeah.
I think even more hilarious.
Yeah.
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 I got kicked out of a strip club another time. I guess I've been kicked out of a bar 4 times.
For being awake?
Yeah, I was awake.
Oh shit.
When I worked in horses, so a lot of those guys are really wealthy, and then they're kind of pigs.
Mm-hmm.
So my buddy from Germany, this like hardcore like Marlboro man, which you don't
Yeah.
have in that kind of horses, hardcore Marlboro man guy, thought I was hilarious. He's like, we're gonna go to the strip club. You should come with us. He
Yeah.
kind of had like a Ken Climo voice, you know?
Yeah.
So he's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the strip club. You should come with us. So I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. I'm down. It's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And so I was like half in the bag before we left. Like we were because I work. They're riders, so like
Yeah.
they work because they're riding horses. But like after they're done riding their last horse, they're like hanging out. I still
Right.
got like 2 hours of work to do.
Right.
So I'm like working and drinking beers to like finish up my day. Got back, changed clothes. By that point, I'm ready. Like I don't know, 8 beers deep or something, you know. So they're like, let's go. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. And plus, I wasn't looking forward to paying like $20 a drink because we were in like Florida.
Yeah.
So I think we were in Tampa. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. I think we were in Tampa, and then we went to 3 strip clubs. First strip club we go to, it was like not very busy. There's like people there, whatever. And I remember we were sitting up by the rail, and this girl was up there, and I just like used all my taglines from the strip club,
Yeah.
you know, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And she had like done something. She was like on her hands and knees, like facing away from us, and I was like wafting,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, smells great. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's great. And I like gave her a big thumbs up, and she turned around and shot me like a dirty look.
Yeah.
And then like the next thing or whatever, she like was laying on her back and like had her feet like way up in the air.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I can see your kidney. And then she kicked me in the face with her shoe. And the minute she kicked me in the face, the bouncers came and grabbed me.
Really?
Yeah, and then kicked me out
Oh my God.
'Cause
Can
she-
you not do that?
because she kicked me. Well, I think anytime you have a physical altercation with a stripper, even though it's just like I didn't touch her, like I think they're worried about retaliation, so they just like they
Yeah.
just take you out.
Oh my God.
So we got kicked out. No one was mad at me for it
Because
because they were dying, and then we had to go somewhere else.
Oh my God.
After that, we went to Mons Venus or whatever the fuck that place is, which is like world famous. And I didn't like it.
World famous strip club.
Yeah, it's like one of like the most famous strip clubs.
No shit.
But it's like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So whatever. I was running my mouth in there too, and that wasn't really that popular either. So the guys
You
I
don't
was
say.
the guys I was with though were literally like this was like one of the best nights ever. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah. Oh,
And,
for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But that was
Yeah. We actually talked yesterday. I was talking with Megan and Scott and all that, and she brought up us going to the strip club where it was like you, me, and Scott, and she thinks that like we'd be kicked out relatively fast because I think we're all on the same page. We're like not even close to interested at all.
Yeah.
Like nothing to do with like, oh, we're not interested in girls, but just
Yeah.
like the idea and whole setup of everything, that it would just be like can see your kidney from here, or what, like anything like along the lines,
Yeah.
or like, wow, smells great. Just saying stupid shit.
I always my big thing. When I worked at the dealership, I would go with the people from the dealership, and I had a great time.
Yeah.
That was like going with them, and then I've taken Gabby and her friends with the guy I used to work with at the dealership, and we have a great time.
Yeah.
Gabby and her friends at the strip club is a great time
Yeah.
because they fall for the shit.
Yeah.
Like they're like the dumb 18-year-old guy. Like those
Yeah.
girls are like, you girls are so pretty, and they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, and they just eat it up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, they're strippers. That's what they do. They just
Yeah.
compliment you, so you give them money.
Yeah. Big
and,
time.
that's the whole game.
Yeah.
And they're really good at not suspending disbelief. I mean, they're really
Yeah.
good at suspending disbelief. They're like, no, she really thinks I'm pretty. I'm like,
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah.
But no, when I go, like before I went with them, because I like going with them, and it's fun because like a couple, either with them because they're a bunch of girls, or when I go with the people from the dealership, usually like a couple of the girls will go. And going to the strip club with girls is a lot more fun, I think, because
Yeah.
it takes away this like weird, shitty thing. Like kind of like watching like the girls interact with the strippers is hilarious.
Yeah.
So I like that. But if I get dragged, like I've gotten dragged a couple times for like birthdays or whatever it is, now I just like lowball.
Yeah.
Like, how much is the lap dance? They're like $20. I'm like, I got $8. maybe just like the first two verses. Like I'll just sit there and just try to bullshit with them, just for my own entertainment. And that's literally like what I'll do. I'll go to a strip club and spend like $4. Like I'll get or whatever, $8. I get like the Coke because you have to have a drink in front of you the whole time. So I get like a
Really?
yeah, I get like a Red Bull, and I'll just nurse it,
Yeah.
and then I just sit there and just like
Was it
whatever.
like a $20 Red Bull? Is everything $20?
It's
Basically.
basically yeah. And sometimes when we go with the girls, I'll just get like $50 and give it to the girls.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't mind it. I just like it's not how I would choose to spend my money. Watching
Right.
them give strippers money
Yeah.
is worth the money. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an investment.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I can imagine that it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, the first time we took them there, we got them in the car afterward, and they were like so hyped up, it was
Yeah.
insane.
Like the first time they went to Cedar Point or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
we
I've
should-
always heard about this,
yeah,
but
they're
like,
like, we should go all the time.
yeah, dude, I can't wait to go to Cedar Point again.
Oh.
I didn't realize you were such a Cedar Point fan. I would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So we can do this, not a
What?
question board, but what's the best seat on the roller coaster?
Oh, front every time.
Never.
Never.
It's lies. There's some roller coasters where the front is sweet.
Yeah.
Valraven, the front is sweet.
Yeah.
I think any of the like real extreme drops,
Mm-hmm.
if the number of carts is small, the
Mhm.
front is sweet.
Yeah.
The issue with the front cart, I like that you can see where you're going, but on the back, I kind of like that you can't see where you're going.
Yeah.
And as you're coming down the hill, the weight of the cart snaps the back of the cart down.
Yeah.
Where the front of the cart, like you're already part of the way down the hill, and the weight's like holding you up the hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like you go faster in the back,
Yeah.
up at least down the hill.
Yeah, for sure. It's usually that if the line is too long for the front, I'm usually
Yeah.
somewhere in the back. But
I do-
usually I'll wait for the front.
I do the
Like-
opposite. I'm the complete opposite.
Really?
I'll wait for the back, and
Yeah.
then if the line's like absolutely ridiculous, I'm like, fuck it, I'll go in the
Yeah,
front.
because a lot of it is just like you said, the Valraven. The first time I ever went on Valraven,
You have to sit in the front.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And like we saw the, like the 3D virtual ride of it or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like that looks fucking sweet. And then it was me, Amanda, and my sister Haley.
Yeah.
And it was just like I'm sitting in front. Like I don't care how long it is. Like I'll dangle like there. I want to see like what it's like.
Yeah.
And I'm not a pussy.
Cream puff.
Yeah, whatever. But that one is like one of my favorite ones there. And then Gatekeeper, I forget what side of it is on. So like it goes
I like
out into the right, and I forget if I like being on the far right or far left. So like I'm either dangling off to the right or being like weirdly wedged at the very top.
I like being on the side, getting on the side closest
Yeah.
to you when you get on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess I'm on the left side,
Okay.
on the outside left side.
Yeah.
Is what I like.
Yeah.
And that one I like being on the back too.
Yeah. That one's sweet.
That's a good one. I like to start. I like to start over there. It's
Yeah.
a good one to start with.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. That it's such a smooth ride, and you just like flip around and get flung around, and it's just real smooth. And then you land. You're like, oh, that's got the best harness
Yeah.
because it's like soft on you.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's not like getting into the power tower or something.
The worst one was when they had the standing one. Did
I
you?
don't know, I don't know if I ever went on that one.
Oh.
I don't remember what it's even called.
It wasn't the Mantis. What the fuck was it?
You sure it wasn't the Mantis?
I'm positive.
Okay.
Now I think your feet hang on that one. I'm not sure what it is.
Mantis or Raptor?
Nope. Oh, it might have been the Mantis.
Okay.
Yeah, the Raptor's one where your feet hang.
Yeah. And that one I like a lot. And that one for sure, every time I'll be on the far right side in the front.
Yeah.
Because in the drop, like you're up and to the right, and then you can see like the whole park. And then like as you're swinging in, you can only see this part of the park.
Yeah.
And then when you're coming in, you can see everything else, and then just like straight down, and it's great.
Did I tell you the story of how with my phone with the Raptor?
You did. I don't remember it entirely though.
So we went to Cedar Point, Gabby and I, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, we went to Cedar Point, and 3 weeks before we went, a guy had been decapitated because he dropped his phone and then he hopped the fence at the Raptor, and then it literally knocked his head off.
Yeah.
So we went and rode the Raptor, and then we were walking farther into Cedar Point. And I was like, let's take a picture. And we agreed to only take my phone because we didn't want to take both phones.
Right.
So I was like, oh, let's take a picture. And then I couldn't find my phone. And I was like, oh, shit. And then I went back, and then I asked him about it and whatever. And then I was like, well, somebody will turn it in. So we waited like 4 hours, and then we went to security, and we went in, and I was asking about the phone. And they're like, where'd you lose it? And I was like, the Raptor. And they gave me this really shitty look. And I was like, I'm not joking. Like, I really did. And then it was completely smashed, but it still worked.
Yeah.
And they gave it to me. But I remember them thinking that I was fucking with them because of the guy getting decapitated. And I was like, no, I really did. I really did.
Seriously. Yeah.
I really did. Yeah, but whatever the standing one was, it might have been the Mantis.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the worst one.
Yeah.
Because, like, there was no answer. Like, I went on it. Someone told me, like, if you stand on your tiptoes, and it doesn't make sense, and I don't know why. I didn't examine the thought process before. But if you stand on your tiptoes, like, it's not as bad. And, like, guaranteed every time you ride that ride, it just, like, smashes your reproductive organs.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, kind of bend down a little bit. And, like, no matter what I did, I was just like, dude, I'm just not going to ride this ride anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrible. You're on, like, a unicycle seat anyways. Like, who invented this?
Really?
Why is it? Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't think that it's still a thing where you go standing.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because the last couple times I went, we go on basically everything we can. Yeah. And it's funny, the ones that freak me out the most now are like the slow moving ones that you're just like dangling. So you have the one that they shut down pretty fast when it's windy at all, but it's just like a big carousel that brings you up, and you spin around and you look across, and it's super cool. But like the last time I was there, it's like, this is freaking me out too much.
Yeah.
I don't know why or what. Because like everything else, like I'll go on dragster, and like I would love to get stuck at the top and just fall backwards and then shoot us up again or whatever. And it sucks that the dragster is always like down.
Yeah,
always down.
it's the touchiest one for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was there. We were in line. We were about to go, and then like this big guy farted, and they're like, "We're shutting it down. We're gonna take a break." The best is, so we were locked in, like my nightmare. We were locked in the car, and it got shut down.
Really?
And like the guys came in like the little blue things.
Yeah.
And they didn't let us out of the car.
Really?
Yeah. So, like send the empty car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that. We were in it.
Yeah.
They fixed it. And they're like, all right, you ready to go? And I was like, oh,
Bro.
shit, bro. Are you serious? That was the most exciting one.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the
hilarious.
one that gets me is that big swing, Skyhawk.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Dude.
Yep.
That gets you, man. When you're up at the top and
Dude,
then you
I
swing
don't know
back.
why. Because like there was the last year that I went there, like I try to like get myself on there because for whatever reason I have the thought processes of like these practically never fail and yada yada yada. But then like what if it's like I'm the 1% or like something, whatever the fuck. I wasn't able to like break through that barrier. As to where before it's like I'll just take my chances because realistically something happening, like all the checks and balances that are in place, you're going to be totally fine. And the only time that something fucked up happens is when I lost my phone and I got to jump the fence, which is totally just fucking stupid on that guy's part.
Right.
Like,
But it was an 11.
Yeah.
I'm just grabbing a piece of paper towel.
Okay. I'll sit right here.
I can hear you.
I'll wait. I'll sit right here.
I can hear you.
I'll wait. That's going to be the thumbnail. Darren's belly button. Whatever.
There's napkins right there.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, from the Taco Bell we had last time.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, people don't really get hurt. Like you get pinched
Yeah.
and stuff from time to time. But
Yeah, it's never any, like, every time I go on there, it's always just fine. But, like, so the year before, I'd be, like, hands up, feet out, like, as sprawled out as I possibly can, just
Yeah.
to, like, make it the most exciting for me and, like, fuck with my sisters and everything. Because they're, like, they'll go on, but they're, like, vice grip to it.
yeah,
Um,
the one I have the hardest time putting my hands up for is the Maverick.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you keep going in and out, and like there's all the track
Yeah.
like
My
wound around
hands
you.
are, like, up. And then in, and
Yeah.
then, I don't know. Like, and I think realistically, the only person that should be worried about that is like Scott,
Yeah,
because his wingspan is much longer than ours.
Yeah.
And I think,
and he's sitting up on that butt.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, that one's hard. And that one, Millennium Force. The one year when my parents were here, we all stayed, on the hotel
yeah.
for what were we there for? Like 4 or 5 days or something like that.
At Cedar Point.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, my dad came out. He loves that place. And my stepmom, she likes to go sights. Like, she went on a roller coaster, which is a big deal. And it was like one of the kiddie roller coasters it's super old now. But you're like in a cart that's just dangling. And it's
Iron Dragon.
yeah,
Yep.
that one. Yeah. And she was like exhilarated by it. Like, it's so great.
So the last time I rode the Iron Dragon is the last time I'll ride the Iron Dragon. Because I waited in line and then we rode it and I was like, I remember this thing being sweet and this sucked. Like you can
Yeah.
watch the carp in
Yeah.
the water as you're like
Yeah.
swinging around. You're like, oh my God, this
Mhm.
is terrible.
Yeah. So me, my dad, and I think both my sisters. I forget which sister. I have 4 sisters. It's hard to keep track. But we for sure went on Millennium Force 8 or 9 times in a row,
Yeah.
just like nonstop, because it was like the end of the night. No one was really there. And they like just short of just like keeping us on the cart, like would let us get off right behind it, hop right back in line, waited for like 30 seconds for the next cart to clear, hop on and just like go.
Yeah.
It was fucking sweet. That was, I think, the only time that I've ever experienced something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's still the same every time. Like the drop's sweet, everything's sweet. We just don't have to wait in line. It is fucking awesome.
The crazy part is I've gone on them like, hands up, all this other stuff. But a different experience is going with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
It makes it's not as scary, which is weird.
Yeah.
It's like very like flowy.
Yeah.
There's something with like watching it. There's a lot of visual stimulus
Yeah.
that like freaks you out. But yeah, if you ever like are on it like and you're riding it 8 times in a row. Like we went and I don't know how many times we had ridden, like Gabe and I were there all day. We stayed at the hotel, so we were there like jamming through them. And I was like, well, let's go on it with our eyes closed and see. And I don't know if it'd be like scarier or not. And it was so much smoother. It was like
Yeah.
a meditative thing. You're like, whoa,
Yeah.
just like flowing around on it. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I've done
that's
that
cool.
before out of like fear, because like
Yeah.
I want to do it, but I don't know. So I like,
Yeah.
And it was like, it was different. It was like, wow, that wasn't even like close to as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
And like, was it the first roller coaster I went on that was like a real one, like the big boy one?
Yeah.
Was I think Mean Streak or whatever it is,
Yeah.
where it's got the red and blue cart that race.
Gemini.
Yep. Yeah.
The Mean Streak, it would just beat you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The new one they put on there, though, Steel Vengeance, is awesome.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't been on it.
Yeah. We went with
It was down when we were there last.
Mikey and Allison a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And then last year we went with Bips X, and then Hannah, Gabby, and I went, which was kind of random because Hannah doesn't ride roller coasters.
Okay.
So we like talked her into riding a couple of them,
Yeah.
but she's not really into it. Just
She's more of like an Iron Dragon lady.
just freaks
like
her
one
out.
time.
Yeah,
and then she's
just
good.
freaks her out. I think she
Yeah.
did the Gatekeeper. She did like a couple of the bigger ones, but
Yeah.
nothing that was like crazy.
Yeah.
And then doing that, like when you take somebody that doesn't ride roller coasters the whole time, you're like playing therapist.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fine. Like, just you got to confront your fear and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. I like to go
Yeah.
like with people that are like, "Fuck yeah, let's do this one next." And you're like,
Yeah.
"You want to sit in the front or the back?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"I'll go in the front.
Oh,
You go in
yeah.
the back."
Big
Like,
time.
so
Big time.
when we went with Mikey and Nelson, because they go to Cedar Point like 85 times. They used to go to Cedar Point like 85 times a year.
Yeah.
And when we went with them, I realized that because they go all the time, they do a bunch of other stuff at Cedar Point that like I normally never even think of.
Yeah.
Like they drink
Yeah.
a bit at Cedar Point. And like I'm like, dude, we could be riding a ride and we're like waiting in line for like beers
Yeah.
for like the third time. And I'm like, okay. Gabby got a
Yeah.
buzz. And then I don't think she was 21 at the time. I think when we went she was 20.
Yeah.
Because I think like Allison had to buy her drinks or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she had just turned 21. But yeah, when we were like, she got like a buzz in the middle of the day. And then I was like, you better keep drinking.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just going to get like that headache.
Yeah.
And she's like, I just don't like riding the roller coaster makes my stomach feel weird. And I was like, okay. And then she stopped drinking. And like 4 hours later, like her buzz went away. And she's like, oh, I have a headache. I was like, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. Experience.
You don't have to listen to me on everything, but this I know a fair amount about.
Yeah. I've practiced. Yeah. I remember when Gatekeeper got first put in.
Yeah.
Me and my two sisters, Lexi and Haley, went there. And it was for Hollow Weekends or whatever. And it was shitty.
Yeah.
Like, it was gross, but like not terrible enough to close down every ride. We waited in line for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big time. It was absurd. Like, I was starting to get so pissed. And then you got to the threshold of like, if we leave now, then we just wasted all this time.
Yeah.
And then even still, it's like.
Did you wait that long because they kept shutting the ride down, or you waited that long because the line was that long?
The line was that long. And there was nothing else going on, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the new ride at the time. So.
Yeah, we just save up.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just save up, and then we get the Speed Pass.
Yeah.
Or the Ultra, or whatever the fuck
Yep.
it is, because I only get down to Cedar Point once a year.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. And that's what I want to do. Like, after that and everything, it's.
Fast Pass Plus.
Yeah.
That's
Fast
what it's
Pass
called.
Plus.
Yep.
Yeah. Is worth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you otherwise, like, you go down there and you'll hit like 7 roller coasters all day.
Yeah.
You took the hour and 45-minute drive,
Yeah.
paid already $60,
Yep.
and you got to ride 7 roller coasters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I go once a year, you know?
Yeah. Like, I've been a part of Fast Pass, like other places. When we went to Disney World for Scott and Megan's wedding,
Yeah.
we got Fast Pass for a couple of them. And then also you had an hour, like, since we were staying on site, we had an hour prior before it opened up to like the general public.
Yeah.
Where it's like, wow, this is fucking sweet. So realistically, we should just be getting this every fucking time.
Yep.
Like, even talking to Mike and Allison before, they're like, yeah, we just get it every time because it's worth it. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But like, I didn't fully understand until like experiencing it. It's like, fuck. Like,
Yeah, we did it
Yeah.
the first time Gabby and I went is the first time I ever did it. And we went and we were like, fuck it. Because we stayed at the hotel, so you get a discount and whatever it is. So I was like, fuck it, let's get the Fast Pass Plus. And then we did that. And then after that I was like, dude, I'm never not getting this again.
Yeah.
Because like I rode the Millennium Force and Top Thrill Drags are like 6 times each. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
It was the funny part to me is like the Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the Millennium. The Magnum
Yeah.
broke down,
Yeah.
and the guy came to fix it.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of like all the sensors and all the things that they have on those roller coasters to like keep them safe.
Mm-hmm.
The dude fixing it literally brought out like a bag, like a little tool bag, like
Yeah.
my tool bag.
Yeah.
And he was using like a rubber mallet and just like beating this wheel onto this thing.
Right.
And I was sitting there watching him and I was like, okay, right? Like this thing costs like, I don't know. I'm always interested in the stats.
Yeah.
But like this thing costs like $7 million.
Yeah.
And like it's all coming down to
Yeah. One of the things that I randomly really enjoy at Cedar Point is the roller coaster graveyard that
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually really like that because it's the history of what used to be there. And like some of them were like, I remember doing that one time as a child, like with my grandparents and all that. It's like that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Like I don't remember what the hell they are now, but that
Yeah,
was neat.
we went. My mom and I went the one time. I don't know how long ago it was, and we were gonna ride every roller coaster and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember like we got down to like, she didn't want to ride a big one. She needed a break. She was getting like her knee was starting to bother her. This is before her knee surgery,
Yeah.
and getting in there was like a break. So she's like, well, let's ride an easy one because it'll be like whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So we went on the mine ride.
Yeah.
So the carts are tiny.
Yeah.
So you're like wedged in there.
Oh, big time.
And then that thing just beats you up.
Yeah.
Like it's so so
It
we were,
throws you everywhere.
we were sitting in there the entire time we were on the rides. Like I was literally just like talking shit to my mom. And the people in front of us were fucking dying. I was like, yeah, let's ride the mine ride because my knee hurts. This is helping. I'm like, this is so fucking uncomfortable. And I was just like bitching. Like we're going up and down hills and I was just staring at her. I was like, do you feel good about yourself?
Yeah.
Like, is this what you wanted?
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, it was fucking great.
Mhm.
But yeah, and they used to have like Splash City and they had like a bunch of that stuff. And like, I'd never do that anymore. Like we went twice when I used to go with my uncle all the time. We went and we'd hit like, you know, Whitewater Rapids or whatever it is and all that stuff. And then it just was like, this water's gross. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I'll be wet and like, oh.
Do you ever on like the group rides where you're kind of like facing each other? Do you ever talk shit to the people you're with? Or like, oh shit, you're about to go backwards and who knows what's gonna? I don't know. Because I'll talk shit or I'll say whatever. I'll make like comments like I'm super worried to see if I can get other people worried. Like, shit, should I have gone on this ride or?
I don't talk shit to other people, but I'll say stuff just for effect to like see what happens to people around
Yeah.
me. I do that a lot.
Yeah.
When I went with Mikey and Allison, they stopped. What ride were we on? It might have been the Magnum. It was either the Magnum or whatever,
Mhm.
but they stopped the ride for me because
really?
I pulled my phone out. So evidently they have cameras on you.
Yeah.
So like you load all up, then you come out and you do the turn, and then you start going up the hill.
Yeah.
I forget whichever one we were on. And so we came out, we did the turn, and then as we did the turn, like I pulled my phone out to
Yeah.
like, I think it was like FaceTiming somebody or whatever. I was like taking a selfie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pull my phone out. They stop the ride. This woman comes around and she's like, I'll take that. You can pick it up after the ride. And I was like,
Really?
oh shit. And then everybody was like dogging me about it.
Ah.
I was like, oh, sorry. Then we got off the ride and all these people were like mean mugging me. I was like,
Yeah.
sorry,
Hey,
guys.
Yeah, I tried to wear the body harness with my GoPro a couple times
Yeah.
and I got shut down every time. And then I never was able I never went through with it, but I was like, I'm going to like sneak this in and whatever. And like, I don't know, wear a jacket and something and have like a black shirt cause it's all black.
Yeah.
And then like when it's time I can like unzip and like show, cause I always thought it'd be really cool. Like seeing it, other people do it. That's cool. But like, I want to make my own.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be sweet. And just like, I never got around to it. And it was always like, I was really weird about it. Cause like, I didn't want to wear like the harness and be all like dorky or whatever. And in real, like, I was finally like, just fucking do it and see. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They're just gonna be like, no, like, that's not that scary.
Yeah. And in the end, they were just like, no.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Exactly.
oh, shit.
Sad.
Sad.
Very
The
sad.
one thing that I did a couple years ago that I now do when I go is the slingshot.
Yeah.
The slingshot is the scariest thing there for me.
Yeah.
And we went 2 times ago and rode the slingshot. And like I fell all the way down head first. Like
Really?
we dropped and came down however we came down, right?
Yeah.
Hit the thing, slung back up, and then the next one we like kind of spun at the top, and then the whole way down we came down head first.
Really?
And it was like the scariest thing I've ever experienced
Yeah.
at Cedar Point. I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
you literally hit that moment of like something bad's gonna happen. Not
Yeah.
just like, wow, this is really exciting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, something's gonna end.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's worth
Yeah,
it.
I like that one a lot. The last time I did that, they had it at like my dad works for Sony. They had the company picnic thing and whatever, and so they got like this theme park set up, and they had that there. My dad's like, if you want to do it, I'll pay for it. Like, all right, I'm down. And I got one of my sisters to do it, Lexi or Haley, I forget which one.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. And then I think we did it twice, maybe 3 times or something. And then every time I go to Cedar Point, I'm always so pissed because it's like not only did we pay, like we have all this other amusement stuff, but like I have to pay to do this one, and it's not like
Yeah.
it's like $25 or whatever the fuck it is for so it's $50 for us to ride it. Like,
But I think we went the first time that we rode it, we went on some weekday, and it's half off.
okay,
It's buy one get one.
gotcha.
So I think it's like Thursday or Tuesday.
yeah,
It starts with a T. And we went, and they were like, yeah, because it's like 2 for Tuesday or 2 for Thursday or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they're like, if you you like buy one get one.
yeah,
Because we just went to get in line,
yeah.
and then we got up and the guy's like, ticket, and I was like,
Yeah.
fast pass, and he was like, he was like,
Yeah.
no,
We did basically the same thing.
I had no
because-
idea.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
either. And like, me and Amanda waited, and I was just like, I was just like excited to go, and he's like, ticket, and I was like, what? He's like, yeah, it's like $25 a person. And I just turned to her and I said, fuck that. And we just left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we the first time we went to go get on it, it was like, oh, well, it's the buy one get one free, and I was like, well, $12.50 a piece. I was like, ah, fuck it, we're here. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it. And then after I did it, I was like, oh, I would totally do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the scariest thing there for sure. Yeah, it's great. So
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yes, a disc golf.
Yeah. I don't know. At some point. Yeah. I did some disc golf stuff.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I went and played. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted this week of like the get a disc, give a disc thing.
I
So-
saw it posted. I just didn't watch it.
Okay, so it's this guy Trash Panda, and then a company he collabed with called Tree Smackers. Trash Panda I stumbled on when I was building the Discord, and I had like the one channel, or I have the one channel where all the disc golf that I could find on YouTube, when a new video is posted from there, it gets posted to this channel. So for me and whoever else is there, it's easy to kind of follow the new stuff that's kind of popping up. And when I just looked at disc golf YouTube channels, he was in there, and whatever I saw kind of like interested me, and I was like, fuck it, I'll see what it's about, because there's a lot of channels on there I don't really know, because
Right.
they're like low subs, or like I just haven't come across them before or whatever. And so the guy's name's Jesse. I forget where he's from, and he makes his own like recycled plastic discs and stuff. Like, he's experimenting himself and like was able to get it all together. Anyways, so for Christmas he wanted to do basically a Secret Santa, and it was like a pay it forward type thing. So like if you wanted to be a part of it, you fill out this form, you say like kind of what you're looking for, and then a little bit of whatever information, then you're gonna get information of like who to send a disc to. So like they however they shuffle it up. They gave me this guy Caden.
Well, don't
And-
say it. What if he's watching?
That's fine. I already told them in my video what his name
Oh,
was.
fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that'd be sweet if Caden's watching. 'Cause that'd be
Caden!
funny. Hey. Like however many years from now, he's like, oh shit, I remember.
Yeah.
So I got it the one day, the email, like who I'm sending it to and whatever. And I was like, shit, like I could make like, I think a cool little video out of this. So I did that. I sent him a stack of discs, because it was like, well, one, I have like a bunch of whatever that's just kind of like sitting here too. Like, I'll just give like extra, because like if all else, like he'll take what he wants, and then maybe he gives the extra to like friends or family, or just like keeps them to himself. And then I'm still waiting on mine. And when I was like, what do I want for my disc? I was like, I want your favorite disc, not like specifically, but like your favorite mold.
Yeah.
Like, I want the Mercy of that, like
Of your
what you
world.
yeah,
Right.
of your world.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like sending you a wasp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm curious to see if that's what's like, if I'm going to actually get that, or I'm just going to get like some random disc.
Yeah. What if you get like a Daedalus? It'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, dude, it'd be sick.
Yeah.
It'd be so sweet, because what I want to do is make a video of like playing around with someone else's favorite disc type thing. But I was super stoked, and I was like, while I was editing the video the whole time, like every time, and I think it's true for like other people who create, like there's like a meme going around that every time a YouTube, like whoever uploads their video, it's like, that's the fucking worst video I've ever done in my life. What am I doing? But like while I'm editing it the whole time and I'm like rewatching it, it's like, this is sweet. Like I'm like really enjoying it.
Yeah.
And like I attacked it in like a different process. of like how I normally would edit a video, and it just like became a little more clear to me. And I was just like, in the beginning, I was like, this is kind of dog shit. What am I doing? And then in the end, I was super happy with it.
Yeah.
And then I tagged Jesse in it, and then like he emailed me back. He's like, dude, that's fucking like the video's awesome. This, that, blah 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 blah. And
Did
then,
he say blah 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 blah?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was like 17 blahs.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought it was a super cool thing that they were doing. And then my buddy Ben, he watches every now and then, but he was like just listening. So while he was listening to the video and I was like talking to him on the phone, he was like, "Oh, we can like still get in on this and whatever." Because we were playing a game. It was me, Ben, Barham, and Scott or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, like Tim, you should get in on this and whatever." And I was like, "No, you can't." He's like, "What do you mean? You just said I could." I was like, "Did you look at the video?" I was like, "Hold on, let me rewind." And like in big letters, I was like, "You can still get on this." Just like, "No, you can't," because it was closed by the time I was editing it. It was already like done and over with. And I just thought it was super funny, but I don't know. Hopefully, Caden, you like all your mids that you got.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is all this? I didn't ask for this shit.
Yeah. What is that? G-Star Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what somebody wants.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they want a Blizzard Katana or a Blizzard Boss or another Blizzard Boss.
Yeah.
1,108 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's how far I threw it.
Yeah.
Internet distance.
Nailed it.
Forehand.
Nice.
360.
Offhand.
360. That's not a big
360
deal.
forehand. Yeah.
All right, we ready for some question board?
Yeah, if you want.
I'm ready.
Whatever.
What's your opinion on pets on the course?
I love pets. I love your pets. I love my pets. But overall on the course, they're kind of fucking annoying. Like they get in the way and it's this and that and whatever. And usually they're not on a leash and they just kind of like roam around and do crazy shit. And sometimes they destroy people's property.
Yeah.
And those people are just like, sorry. Bye. Yeah. I know you've had experience with that.
Yeah.
I luckily haven't because I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad.
It was just a pro pig. No
Yeah.
big deal. Yeah, my idea with pets is if you have a well-trained pet owner,
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the pet owner understands the responsibility of the pet owner and also, like, has good command over the pet.
Yeah.
And it's not a thing, I'm in.
Yeah. For sure.
Because I understand, like, pets need exercise, right? The pets that you would take on a course need exercise.
Yeah.
And most people that disc golf and stuff spend a lot of time disc golfing. And so, like, you know, I can see that, like, you're going to be outside, you're going to do that and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like anything else. Like, anybody that has their pet anywhere, if your pet isn't well behaved, or this is the first exercise this pet's gotten in 6 months, like,
Yeah.
it's going to be annoying as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it just comes down to the owner and
Yeah.
their level of responsibility with the dog.
Yeah.
Now there's dogs that, like, I don't enjoy being around. Let's
Yeah.
just say that. The energy that they have or whatever it is, I just don't enjoy being around them. It doesn't matter what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I'm disc golfing or whatever. And then I look at, like, I'm out there trying to focus on what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, and, like, your dog that's poorly behaved is just adding to, you know,
Yeah.
or
Some
taking
nonsense.
away from that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've run into people where they have that dog that is annoying and whatever, and they're trying to like get him in the groove, and they're doing everything right in the sense, and then on top of it, they'll just be like, "No, I'm just gonna play by myself because I know that this little shit's gonna be a pain in the ass." So
Yep.
he'll just be my pain in the ass because I'm trying to train him.
Yep.
So I can respect that. But yeah, I've played in groups where the dog is just like a gnat all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing is just, like, I don't like dogs that exist. Well, I like all dogs, but
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of spending a bunch of time with dogs that live 100% on instinct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this thing is just mindlessly living out its instincts.
Yeah.
You're trying to talk to it. I'm trying to interact with it, whatever. And it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's nobody's home.
Yeah.
And so those dogs, like out on the course, like I just they're like, here, can you hold the leash while I putt? And you're like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, hey, whatever. And the dog's just like I don't know, where
Yeah.
it's like in the fucking zone. It's
Yeah.
like ready to kill something or it's watching something or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, if your dog sucks in terms of like getting with the program, then you should probably just play by yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe play a smaller course.
Yeah.
Because there's a like for me, I think like there's more tolerance to, or you should have more tolerance when you're playing like a small course, right? Because like if you take your dog out and it's like kind of all over the place and everything else, and you got to like fuck with the dog and fuck with your bag and fuck with your shot and everything else and all that. But you're at like a city park, it's like one thing.
Yeah.
But like having all that going on when you're like out at Stony or like Toboggan or something like that, like it's just like, okay, dude, like get your dog trained at the small course and then bring him to the big course. Like,
yeah.
don't train your dog at the big course because it's so much more of a pain in the ass, and
Yeah.
like you can really slow stuff down a lot.
Yeah.
Where at the small course, like it's probably not moving that fast anyways because there's probably a bunch of people that are ready.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Baycourt or something.
Yeah, Star or Wagner or any of the like city parks.
Yeah.
What do you drink on the course? Colt 45. Just smooth malt liquor.
Yeah. Some Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I had Mad Dog one time.
Did you?
It was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Mad Dog.
No, yeah. It was not good. It was like it was a gift from this chick that I worked with, Mandy,
Yeah.
who I had a strong crush on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sounds hot.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Tattoos, like black hair.
Yeah.
Awesome. Super cool chick. But yeah, for like this party she threw, she's like, I got you this. I'm like, I've never had anything like it before.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, this is a throwback to me and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like I had like, I don't know. I think I tried to drink as much of it as I could.
Yeah.
And I got through maybe like, I don't know, 4 sips of it, 5 sips of it. And then I was like, I can't fucking do it. She just laughed. She's like, that's okay. And then she like slammed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was not good. But I drink a lot of Gatorade and water. Throughout the hot times, I usually have a gallon of water that I lug around.
Yeah, we both carry a lot of fluids.
Yeah.
I usually carry a few different fluids.
Yeah.
Carry Gatorade, and then I usually have some kind of hot mix,
Yeah.
which is like some kind of Bang vitamin water, Bang Gatorade, something. 5-hour energy.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you remember when we were at Toboggan and you had something in your red bottle? And
it
then
was
we
like-
like tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was not good.
No. Sometimes it gets a little wacky.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll put like pre-workout and something else and whatever together, and
Yeah.
But I'll usually have like water, regular water,
Yeah.
and then I'll usually have like Jocko or something like that,
Yeah.
and then Gatorade.
Yep.
Some kind of stimulant, some kind of just regular water, and then Gatorade.
Yeah.
So that way it is what it is. And usually the stimulant that's in my bag is usually really strong
Yeah.
because I just like take a sip.
Yep.
Like
Little nip.
little nip,
Yep.
and then it'll like hit me
Yeah.
right now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And,
Yeah. I still want to get smelling salts.
like power lifters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
I
know.
want to get what is it? Jujimufu and Tom have their own brand of it or whatever, and they have like a little like capsule bottle that you can just like pop off and just yeah.
The-
I want to get that.
Dude, that guy, he kills me, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
They had who's the world's strongest man was on there, and they were doing like all these like different tests and everything else.
Yeah.
They're doing like grip strength and whatever
Yeah.
else. And he's got all those like different grip apparatuses and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. I think they're a great duo.
Yeah.
And then I think it was last year sometime where they released a video, and when I saw it I was like, no, they can't be breaking up and this and that and whatever. They played me exactly how they meant to play me, and many others, I'm sure. And then at the end of it was like, we're gonna be Jujimufu and Tom, because originally it was just Jujimufu and then sidekick Tom or
Right.
whatever, and then people were like giving him shit, this, that, whatever, and they were finally like, we're just gonna be like one singular person, basically.
Yeah.
Is what they did. And then
I saw a
It's great.
great one of them where they go to this chiropractor.
Oh,
And
the bald guy who works on them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah.
dude's sweet.
yeah, and he's like, yeah, you have a lot of problems with your hamstrings or whatever. And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, but I do the splits. And he's like, yeah, but the way you're doing it and how you're doing it, like you're just causing a
Yeah.
lot of problems.
Yeah, that dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like fixing them and he's working on them for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just like hammering in at 'em.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that dude's sweet. I wish he was closer, and
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gotten a lot of clientele
My
because of them.
My favorite chiropractor, and I don't know how it came up on my thing, is the guy that does the ring dinger.
The ring dinger.
Ring dinger.
Ring dinger.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
So is this chiropractor.
Wait, is he the guy that's got the strap over your head and then just like yanks you off the
Yes.
table?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ring dinger.
Yeah. And then he's got like an ASMR of like just your spine like just exploding outwards.
Yeah, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
watching the ring dinger is great because people know it's coming, and then even when they do it, they're like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like you could feel that all the way down to your tailbone.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some instances.
in your soul.
Yeah.
yeah, so like that. But yeah, so that's it. Nothing
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, you know.
How do you throw a water skip shot like Reed? Left-handed.
Yeah, and with a disc, preferably wide rimmed. Yeah.
Yeah, Einheiser the whole way.
Yeah. It's actually not like for me at least, him throwing that like isn't that surprising.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty good play and it's actually pretty I don't know what other people's skill sets are and what mine are in relation to it, but for me throwing like a water skip shot is relatively easy. Like if I wanted to on that hole I would. I just choose not to cuz I'm not comfortable, and for whatever reason he chose, I don't know, maybe he goes too long, and him throwing it just at the far corner just lets the disc pop up and just like
Die.
land there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I think the risk reward is basically the same.
Yeah,
Like whether he's going air shot and then goes OB long or is going to come up short. Either way, he's going to go to the drop zone. So that's the risk he took there, and he became like famous for it.
yeah,
And there's one of my roommates, like, quick story. I didn't realize how skippy discs were until like we were at our community pool, like for the apartment complex, and we'd be in there at like midnight just playing catch. And then for whatever reason, I was like, I wonder if I just like chuck the disc into the water as hard as I could, like straight down, what it would do. It almost killed my roommate because it reacted not even close to how I thought it would. And it was this yellow. I had a yellow Challenger and an orange Challenger in like soft X plastic. And I would tomahawk it into the water, and it would kind of like dip down. And then when the water dispersed, it would like rifle off the right side and then just like shoot out and around.
yeah.
And it was like the craziest, most fun thing. And we both just cackled because like he laughed because he almost died. I laughed because I almost killed my roommate.
Yeah.
And we both had no idea like how that even happened. So we just started like chucking into the water, just like trying to hit each other, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. So just being tomahawked into the water. I don't know. Try it out a couple times, see what happens.
Yeah. When it gets warmer.
Yeah.
Because with the ice, it'll probably just,
Yeah.
Let's hear some stuff about what you've learned this year.
Also striving for next year.
Striving? That's the word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you write that?
No.
Okay. Are
Also
you sure?
striving for next year. Well, I think we touched on it a little bit the last podcast. And what I learned this year is that I really didn't have legs.
Yeah.
I really did not have the use of my lower appendages
Yeah.
in my disc golf career.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to play disc golf with legs
Yeah.
and see how that works.
Yeah.
And what I'm striving for next year, I have specific like distance goals and stuff. But number one thing, I'm just striving to get 1,000 rated.
Yeah. More dominance.
Yeah, I just want to be 1,000 rated. I want to play a full season. I hope that it's not going to be some kind of abbreviated season again, because I'm good with one abbreviated season because I switched all my gear and
Yeah.
whatever else, and it was fine.
Yeah. And
it-
also you did it in the time of COVID.
Yeah, well, that's
So,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah, because
like-
it was like,
It's all sorts of weird.
yeah, I couldn't play many tournaments. I was like, fuck it, I'll just switch everything now. And then hopefully that'll pay dividends next year.
Yeah.
So what I'd be striving for next year is like really dialing in familiarity and comfort with my discs, and being able to use my body and see like how that goes. Hopefully hitting all my kind of checks and balances goals for like its specific physical achievements, distance and this and that and whatever. But as a
Yeah.
whole, like just getting the 1,000 rated is where I'm striving.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm about there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines. Like going out and playing, like even now in just kind of like shitty conditions. I went out and played Northridge with Dan, and it was like I felt so good throwing all my shots, and my putting is just still kind of like bonkers in the sense of like it still just feels so good, and I'm glad. And like, what was it? And I still have the thing with the jump putts where it's like it's all just right there, but it's always like just over the top of the basket
Yeah.
or like just short, but it's never like really way left or way right.
Yeah.
And so like every time I go and like run a jump putt, I just know that it's going to the basket and it's not going to go like too long and it's not going to be like some sort of shank job. So like I don't know what I did, if it was like a timing thing, because like I've tried getting my legs more into like getting the feel of it, like you were telling me about like the hang clean and press, like when there's weight on it you can feel just you want the bar traveling upward. And so feeling that is kind of the same thing how I incorporate it into my jump putts. And so getting loaded and when I fire and where the disc is when firing happens, it's really easy to get the disc going somewhere. And then all I got to do is just open right here and the disc goes there,
Yeah.
which is a crazy concept. Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ITB, tell us what's in your bag. We did an extensive in the cart
Yeah, Ben.
earlier.
Yeah, it's the one that has the thumbnail with the shopping cart on it. We went full on everything.
We went
in the cart. Yeah,
Deep.
big time. Deep in the game. Like with 4 E's.
deep in the cart.
Yeah.
And then right after that I switched some stuff. But whatever.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's good.
Yeah, we can do another one when it's like next year,
Yeah.
season starting
May.
type deal.
May.
Yeah.
We'll do one in May.
Yeah, whatever.
What defines a sport as a sport and how disc golf is now being more accepted as that?
Yeah. The sport that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sport. I don't know. Sport to me would be, we could look it up, I guess, on the phone, but I think some kind of athletic activity centered around some kind of specific goal, that's competed.
Sport. Noun. An activity involving physical exertion and
Okay.
skill
Mm-hmm.
in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment.
Got it.
So I think
I was close.
Yeah, so I think
I
in
used
that
the right
aspect
words.
that that disc golf has always technically been a sport.
Yeah.
But in the sense of like a professionalized sport is more so now, I think, in years past, just because Paul has proven you can be worth $1 million. It is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, the big thing with professional sports is viewership, sponsorship,
Mm-hmm.
all that,
Yeah.
If your sport is entertaining enough to garner enough viewership, that then sponsors will get involved and then, roll that ball down the hill,
Yeah.
pick up some speed and go. Yeah, so I think like disc golf by definition at the very beginning was always a sport.
Yeah.
Um,
How popular it was, or how like
right.
if it even should be considered a sport because it's a knockoff version of golf and whatever.
It's so funny though because like I play golf, ball golf,
Yeah.
and like the two to me are so different. I'm never like when I'm playing disc golf, I'm never thinking like, oh, I'm playing a frisbee version of golf.
Right.
It's such a totally different thing
Yeah.
that like I don't know. I just like I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with the legitimacy of the sport. The fact that it's like golf with frisbees.
Yeah.
I think the legitimacy of the sport comes down to like, people's understanding of it and then how the upper echelons of the sport is conducted,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's other things I think in terms of like sport that like are some weird, like fine line that I don't think disc golf is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like competitive video gaming,
Yeah.
right? as a sport.
Mm-hmm. E-sport.
Yeah, esport.
Yeah. Big time.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I get that it's an activity. I get that it takes skill. I get this. Is
Yeah.
it athletic? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a hand-eye coordination thing. Like,
Yeah.
is doing a Rubik's Cube a sport?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
You know? Like, if you're doing it for speed, is that? I mean, I don't know. There's, like, plenty of gray area things. I don't think, like, going out and throwing a disc and then, like, walking to it and then trying to get it into, like, a specific target is any kind of a gray area for a sport.
Right.
Would seem very much like, yeah, that's a sport.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a sport. I think having the professionalized video game industry is sweet, but I think it like having in my brain when I think of like sport and then esport, like that makes total sense to me.
yeah.
Because it's hand-eye coordination. I never even thought about like is Rubik's Cube a sport, but like it falls into that same category. Like you can be really good at it, but it's a different kind of like you can be competitive at it, but it's different.
Is chess a sport?
Yeah, I don't know, in its own way. Like because that would fall into like esports or like Rubik's Cube, whatever. Because like you can be very talented at being a professional chess player, like for sure.
Right, but you'd have like games.
Yeah.
Right, like because something's a game doesn't mean that it's a sport.
Yeah.
Right, like Yahtzee.
Yeah.
Right, like I am physically rolling the dice.
Yeah.
I mean there is a physical movement. I'm picking up those dice, 5 of them,
Yeah.
in fact.
Yeah,
at a
you
time.
are.
And then I'm rolling them, and
Big time.
and I'm writing.
Yeah, and you're competing against others.
And I'm competing against others. But would I classify that as a sport? No, I would classify it as a game.
Yeah.
Is Monopoly a sport?
Yeah.
So like when you get down,
But is disc golf a game?
disc golf is a sport. I'm saying like
I know.
there should be a category of like games,
Right.
right? There's sports and then there's games.
Right.
And I think when you get into like gaming, right, then I think like it's a game.
Yeah.
Like playing video games. It's right in the name. It's not video sports. Right? Like
Yeah.
there's like I didn't get like the new Xbox, my new video sport console,
Yeah.
right? It's a video game console. So like why
Yeah.
why are you so close-minded to the idea that in order to compete at something for money it has to be a sport?
Right.
Why can't it just be a game? Why can't
Yeah.
it be like e-games,
Right.
e-gaming, whatever,
Yeah.
and have it just be its own industry?
Right.
Why then, like, why do you want to apply sport to it so that way you can compete for money?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of the best. I love Kevin Jones and just his sly kind of shit talk when he goes ERZA. It's in the game. It's like one. That's not even how you spell my fucking name.
Yeah.
Two, like that's way too many letters for what you're doing. I always thought that was like one of the best ones. It always fucking kills me. Every time I hear it, I just fucking die. And then like the last time when I played with Ezra, that's all I could think about. I wanted to be like ERCA. But then I didn't I didn't want him to beat me up or
Yeah.
something.
It's in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
What herb is in Granny? Grammy's herb bread besides parm and spinach?
I don't know. I really
Oregano?
don't. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. She was thinking maybe parsley. I'm not sure. Our grandma's dead, so the
Yeah.
recipe's basically gone. Yeah, there's like a
R.I.P.
Yeah, there's a Post-it note. I think maybe a long Post-it note, you know, like the fancy one that's kind of like that that's got all the words and stuff on it that
Yeah.
she wrote down. No idea where it's at.
Nice.
Yeah.
We just got the official family recipe for krusziki,
Yeah.
which is angel wings,
Yeah.
Polish.
Yeah, I just learned that the one time when you were like krusziki,
Shtiki.
Yeah.
So we got the official thing. So we can now, at random, make angel wings if we want.
Oh fuck.
It's just a very involved process.
Are they healthy?
No. No.
Nuh-uh. I thought they were all the
Fried pastry? No.
Yeah.
Nope.
Aw,
Not healthy.
dang.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's Grammy's bread.
Yeah. Thanks, Grammy.
Thanks, Grammy.
Miss you, love you.
Yep. So I had a marry, fuck, kill. like the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
give you
yeah.
like 3 horrible people or whatever it is, and you got to figure it out. I was trying to think of a version of that for like disc golf.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like partner, lesson, and compete against. Right? Like if you
Okay.
had to pick 3 disc golfers,
Yeah.
one to be your partner,
Yeah.
right? To like play partners with.
Yep.
2 to like get a lesson from,
Yep.
and 3 to like try to dominate.
Yeah.
What would that be?
Hmm.
My lesson, easily, shoestrick.
Yeah.
Right? That's my thing. Just because I learned how to throw a backhand.
Yeah.
and, like,
Shoestrick before he had the hitch.
well, I still think
Yeah.
in terms of like
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a teacher, he's probably like one
True.
of the best.
True.
Lesson wise, I would think it would be like Shoestrick or Stokely.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I would just want to go with like a super classic expert teacher.
Yeah.
Feldberg has always been like a great teacher.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be depending on like what it is that I'm trying to work on. But
Yeah.
I would just, for me, because it's meant the most to me throughout time,
Yeah.
would be Shoestrick. I would get the lesson from.
Yeah.
Partner would be someone that like I would want to have like a good time with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So probably like probably Calvin,
Yeah.
just for sure. Just because like he would be on my team, so he would have to talk to me.
Yeah.
So I could get some like Calvinisms out of it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
And then to compete against, I don't know. I don't know who I'd want to compete against. That I would be like, I'd be super fired up to play against them. You know?
Not Ziggy.
No, I mean like a touring pro, like a top guy.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Not like someone local. There's plenty
Yeah.
of people local that I would
Okay.
that I really enjoy playing against.
Yeah.
Um,
And trying to dominate.
yeah, which is why I play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on like the big stage, like who I'd like to play against,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe shit. I don't know. Maybe Gibson.
Yeah.
Maybe Drew Gibson,
Yeah.
Yeah. because he kind of talks shit
Mm-hmm.
and he's a little guy,
Yeah.
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 so that might be fun.
Yeah. I think.
Or Kevin Jones, right? Like playing against Kevin Jones, I think would be fun.
Yeah.
as
I
fuck.
think that would be great.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think on like lessons, I think is hands down. I think I would be Shoestrick. I'm trying to think of like somebody else.
Yeah.
Like I think Paul and Ricky and whatever are in there, but in terms of like by the book, this is how you throw a disc type thing. Like, I think it's really hard to say that Shoestrick isn't like the definition of that, or at least wasn't at one point
Yeah.
was that or whatever, because it was so good. And I try to get Dan and Kyle to watch like the old videos and really just understand like how bonkers it was.
Yeah.
Like just seeing him rip a disc. Not that he can't now or still doesn't or whatever, but it was just like one of the first where it's just like effortless 500 feet. Like, I don't know, even Ziggy says like he's in the top 5 of like, you just threw that 500 feet. How? Because
Yeah.
it didn't like your throw didn't look like it. Gilbert kind of has the same thing, like in like person watching him throw. Like when Fred and I
Best huck face on the planet.
Oh yeah,
Gilbert.
yeah, like that, and then Ricky, like they're they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But we were trying to figure out, like we watched him throw on 17 at Toboggan, and he like smashed the tree, the one that's straight out, and it was like at the top of the tree and like smoked it, didn't just like hit it and die. And I think just his ability to transfer what he's built and then put it into the disc, he's just figured out how to do it. It's not like he's throwing it crazy hard. I think he's just really efficient at how he's hucking that disc.
Yeah.
Is really all it is. Yeah, I don't know. But Shoestrick, lesson, playing with, I think probably like Yuli or Coling,
Yeah.
I think would be a good time. And then competing against, I don't know, like Paul, probably. Like I think that'd be really interesting just to like go up against like one of just like the best players. Not that like Calvin and whoever, but like one of the guys who like came up and was just like is in the debate of who's the GOAT type thing.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like compare myself and see like firsthand how he kind of attacks things and what I can do versus what he can do, and kind of just break it down that way. Have like my own like internal Venn diagram and everything.
Yeah.
I think would be really interesting and cool to do for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's always like kind of what I'm hoping for when I go to like the bigger tournaments, is so I can not like, oh my god, I get to play with such and such and such. It's more so like, sweet, I get to play with these guys and I can like compare myself to them and see like what they're doing versus what I'm doing and what I can do compared to what they
Maybe
can do
Nico
or
won't say
whatever.
hi to me again at the next
Yeah,
tournament.
and that's fine. And that's I forget what it was. It was oh, it was in that documentary with the fucking kids where he's like, you know, when you meet your
Screwball.
yeah.
Screwball is the
Yeah.
That's the documentary. Yeah, when you meet your heroes.
Yeah,
never-
and you're like let down.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what it was for me.
Yeah.
And like that's immediately what I thought of. Like he said that, and my brain just went Nico, and I was like, "Fuck."
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'd be sweet.
That was my theory on crushes for a really long time. If I had a crush on
Yeah.
somebody, because I very rarely, my whole life, I very rarely would like get a crush on someone.
Yeah.
If I ever did get a crush on someone, I would just never talk to them.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm so excited to have a crush that like it doesn't transfer. Like once I start talking to them and whatever, they're gonna say something or do something, and they're like, ugh, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna go away.
Yeah.
So like specifically, if I ever got a crush on somebody, I would just like never fucking talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because I was like, oh, the minute they open their mouth, they're gonna say something, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Because I remember, like, I saw a couple movies. I'm not a really like. I'm mostly attracted to brunettes, but every once in a while there'll be like a blonde, and I'm like, oh, she's cute or she's good looking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a movie, and Heather Graham was in it. I was like, oh, she's pretty, like for a blonde, you know.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was like, oh, she's kind of hot, you know. And then I saw like an interview with her, and I was like, oh, there goes that.
Oh god.
I
Yeah.
was like, well, that's over.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, did you before I forget, did you see my text about the turf and like having a plywood tee pad and all that?
yeah, but do you think that that's going to be big enough?
Well, I think we can make it whatever size, because I think like the initial like running around on here makes
Mhm.
sense, or like, isn't going to be cumbersome, and then you get up onto the tee pad, that will be big enough to where you can get into the groove and then plant and then be solid. Like
Yeah.
in my head, I think it's like pretty sweet that wherever you lay it, it's just going to like stick there.
Yeah.
He was saying originally like having that spray on the bottom of the plywood and then that same spray on the floor to like really make sure it sticks. I think this would grab a hold of it enough. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you'd have to spray it on the floor. Because
Yeah.
my thought process was like, if you spray it on the plywood, the first time you do it, it's probably going to work.
Yeah.
And then after some dust gets on the
Yeah.
Flex Seal, but then when you put it on the floor, just that plywood's going to slide.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
So you'd have to do Flex Seal on the ground, Flex Seal on the plywood.
Yeah.
And,
Or maybe it's something like maybe it's a different material that we can.
Velcro.
Yeah. I was thinking like for the slide board,
Mhm.
having something similar
Yeah.
like on the bottom, I think would be super sweet, because then you don't have to put anything on the floor itself.
Yeah.
Like even though you probably don't care or whatever, like you were saying before, but to even avoid that, you just have a movable tee pad that you can just have fucking wherever. I think it'd be pretty dope.
I was thinking as Gabby was tearing down the drywall for the staircase, and it was just going everywhere. I was like, oh, that floor is going to be so slick now.
Yeah.
Because that dust just got everywhere. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, God. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started building the peninsula yesterday.
I saw.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. And then I hit a point of like, I'm going to stop for the night.
Yeah.
Because I got to like the next thing of like how I want to build it. And then I was just like, I'm too tired. I'm just too worn out to like actually put it in. And then I'm just going to build something. And then when I get done, it's going to be all in place. I'm going to be like, I should have built it like this.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to be pissed.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah. So what you have framed there now, like the movable wall, that's how far out it's going to be?
I don't know. I
Okay.
built that so I can play with it and
Yeah.
figure out like exactly. So I need to build. I'm going to build the whole framing for the bar side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to play with where I want that to be.
Okay.
So I'm going to like loosely put up, measure off the molding and where the window. It's not called the sill, but everybody calls it like the windowsill itself.
Mm-hmm.
Where that's going to end, and then how much of a gap I want before the peninsula.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want that countertop to come to like the end of the windowsill, because I think that'll look really weird. You know what I mean? If the windowsill like just comes right to like that, I
Yeah.
think that'll be goofy.
Yeah.
So then
maybe.
what's that gap so that doesn't look goofy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want it to look like, oh, you just forgot that you have a windowsill. You know what I mean? And then like
Yeah.
the countertop and the window. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
the height is, it's not like right on, but it's not that far off.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be like, I don't know.
A weird thing.
Yeah, usually the windowsill is going to come an inch past the molding for the
Mhm.
window. So I have to measure like where am I going to actually have the window casing on the inside. 3 inches out from that, it's going to be where the molding's going to end. An inch out from that's where the windowsill is going to end. And then how far from that line do I want to start the countertop?
Mm-hmm.
And that countertop I want to be like 16 inches wide.
Mm-hmm.
So then it sticks out basically an inch over this side. So where that back side of that wall is going to be 15 inches from where the windowsill stops.
Gotcha.
So I want to build that whole structure for the countertop for the bar area, and then put it in place and try to fuck around with like where it looks good.
Gotcha.
And then once I have that in place, I'm just going to put 2 screws in it to put it to the ground. And then I'm going to figure out like where I need to put the sink, because the sink has a spot that it has to go.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to put like loosely in something of like, this is where the sink's going to go, and then frame out the rest of the countertop for that corner, and then over by the dishwasher and stuff.
Gotcha.
And then that'll be that. But
Gotcha.
it's not going to be, it's not that hard of a thing to build. And I'm not going to go super crazy with building it too strong, because when I put the cabinets in, I'll take everything except for like the peninsula that I'm building and framing is going to stay in there.
Yeah.
But when like the rest of it comes out, because when you build the cabinets will take the place of the framing. You don't have framing and then cabinets inside of framing.
Yeah.
The cabinets are the framing.
Right.
So that's that. But it was exciting to do it, because I was like, okay, cool. Like I did
Yeah.
the floor, I did the door, I did the walls, I did the electrical, I did the ceiling, all that. And then I was like, cool. Now I'm like
Yeah.
building.
And
this.
when I forgot that you got a new door,
Yeah.
like while I was driving here, because like I didn't go to bed until like 3:30 or something
Yeah.
when I got home, and I might have been a little tired on the way here. Might still be a little tired. Like I can feel the fight inside happening with the pre-workout and the
Yeah.
tired. But I forgot you got a new door, and then I remembered, it's like, oh, you got a new door. I gotta like see it. And when I first saw it, I was like, that's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Because like even all the other homes that I drive by, like none of them have anything resembling that. They're all basically the same door,
Yeah.
whether it's like the half moon or like 3 little windows or whatever the fuck it is, or just like some nonsense. And this one's sweet. Like,
Yeah. We got lucky. We went to go get one door, which was similar to that door. And then when we got there, we saw that door, and that door was better. And I was like,
Yeah.
let's get this. And then I just kind of built the transition and stuff in place, basically. And I just actually got really lucky, because it worked out perfect.
yeah,
Like we had 2 things. The molding on the outside of the door, which normally you just slide the door into the framing, and then that outside molding butts right up against the outside wall, and then you're set.
Mhm.
And then you just shim it into place, screw it in, and you're done.
yeah,
Because I have the stone on the side of that doorway, the molding doesn't fit.
mm-hmm.
So I had to take the exterior molding off. So now when you put the door into the framing, you have to deal with the axis of front to back to make sure that it's level.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes infinitely harder
yeah,
because of that. So when we took it off, like getting it in place, and my assistant's Gabby, who's fantastic, but like,
yeah,
you're like, no, put the level on the other side. No, the
Yeah.
other side.
yeah,
No, the other side. Do you understand what we're doing? And so we had to take.
we
a
love
break.
Gabby.
Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
take a break, because
Yeah.
like she was getting frustrated, I was getting frustrated, and our
Yeah.
food came. So I was like, let's eat,
Yeah.
and then we'll do it. And then
Did you get Outback again?
No, we just got Perry's.
Nice.
Perry's Pizza, the unofficial sponsor of my life.
Yeah.
And then when we did that, while we were eating, I was like, we're just going to put a board in. We're going to level the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just going to screw the hinge side right to that board. Instead of shimming the hinge side, we're going to shim the board on the back.
Yeah.
That way, when we're putting the frame in, that side will be square and plumb. And then we just have to deal with the other side, which will be kind of easier. And then we did that, and it was like way less complicated.
Gotcha.
And when we got done, I was like, okay, cool. Then I put the drywall up on the top of the door, and it was like almost perfect. And I was like,
Nice.
sweet. That could have been really difficult.
Yeah.
So we got that in, and then I sprayed the foam in for the gaps so I don't have breezes in my house anymore. And then now I just need to figure out a way to like trim in the outside for the time being.
Yeah.
Because come the springtime, I have to make a new transition out of concrete because right now I got like OSB and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do that, I'm going to have to pull it all out, cast a new concrete one, and then put the door back in.
Yeah.
So I can't do anything like super permanent with that door because I'm going to take it out in the spring.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I was super happy with how nice it looks, man.
Yeah.
The door is so nice.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks-
And then I just like going into the side door. I really, if you weren't at the door, like bringing out all the whatever, I was just going to go to the front door and just like ring the bell and all that. And just
Bell
like,
doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knock on the door, whatever.
Yeah.
And just start my day going in through the new door.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I went through the old side door that's not even close to as nice as the front door.
No.
Yeah.
That side, it was like wood.
Yeah.
No window. It's like a wood door.
Yeah. Barely wood.
Yeah, like plywood.
Yeah.
Painted. I don't even know what that door is. But yeah, it was crazy. We bought the door, came home, took forever to put in, and then Gabby had plans.
Mhm.
So she went, and I put the door handle in myself, but we got I got a big door handle, so you have like the bottom that has to have a screw into it.
Yeah.
So the door comes with like the hole and the hole, deadbolt,
Yep.
door handle, but there's no bottom hole for like a door handle like that. So I had to
Yeah.
drill into the brand new door,
Uh,
and like I'm accurate, right?
Yeah.
Like I do carpentry work. Like I was so nervous. I was like, all right, I measured it like 18 times.
Yeah.
Like, this is it, right? It's like 10 inches and an eighth from the top of the handle.
yeah.
I was like, right. And then I made like a dot, and then I like measured it again. And then when I drilled into it, I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
And then
Now or never.
And then when I put it in, it lined perfectly up, and I was like, okay,
Uh,
sweet. Yeah. You know that new door we got? Yeah.
yeah. I got to drill into
We have to
it.
plug it.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. But no, it was cool. When we got the, then after I got the door in, I finished the floor all the way to the door. So I took like, I had something in there temporary, and then I put the final thing in and got it all the way in, and I was like, oh, it's like a real room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really. And then all the drywall's up.
Yep.
Looks great.
Drywall's up. Floor is done.
Nailing it.
Today I got to go get a little thing, whatever, for the floor, just a little melamine or whatever for there. And then I'm going to put the peninsula in, put the countertop on there,
Mhm.
and then start to hopefully frame in the sink
Nice.
today and do all that. So that way I can get back to having a kitchen.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then,
Yeah. You don't have the kitchen in the basement anymore.
yeah. Well, it's just killing me because like, you know, I'm not eating very well because it's always like, do you want to order pizza? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do
Yeah.
that? Because like, there's no kitchen set up.
Right.
So I'm hoping like the quicker I can get the sink, then I'll be back.
Yeah.
Be back to normal. It was nice to put the fridge back in the cubby.
Yeah.
It's been in the middle of the room.
Everything's been in the middle of the
Everything's
room.
been in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice to like start to put stuff away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's sweet. It's coming along.
yeah, it's going to be really cool.
I'm excited for you guys. Yeah. And then also, I don't know if you voted on the Disconi yet.
No.
Yeah. What the hell? I think Rob and me are the only ones that have voted
Yeah.
at all. And I was thinking it might actually be sweet and might make more sense for like in general to have it be like randomized. Like just throw in a number, like if you're picking whatever, just like, all right, I have to pick a category and I have 10 categories, like do a random, like roll a dice or roll a die, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Not dices. And just whatever you get. So that's the category. And then within that category, you get however many courses, then pick the course. And then that just picks the whole for you. And then that way that takes out, because like even how I have it broken down now is like close to the best way I can possibly do it. And it's still a lot to like look at. And I think a lot of courses just won't get play anyways, which totally makes sense. And I think that maybe there can be like an ultimate one, or maybe like the dream whatever for Southeast Michigan that is involved with people after whatever point, because maybe this is the better way to set it up, not having as many followers or people involved in it.
Yeah.
That for now,
Yes,
maybe
I would
something
agree
like
with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also I'm learning more of Rob's rock star status and like picking his brain and like how to do this, this, and this. And yesterday I had an idea of wanting to build something that I found out that he had already basically built before, was being able to pull up someone's stats and then being able to compare them. And then I haven't looked at it yet. He messaged me this morning with like him building a new one and him like letting me play with it. So that's what I'm going to do when I go home and see what more it is that I want to do and like what I'm looking for. But he was like, yeah, I figured a way to crack the PDGA site so I can put it in an Excel sheet, and all I got to do is like this and this, and then it does everything else for me. And then he's he wants to know who's higher rated between Ricky and Paul, even though they're the same rating. He's trying to drag it out like 3 decimal places, so who's like technically higher rated, which I think is actually really cool. So we're like working on that, or rather I'm trying to learn how to do that, and he's the guy.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy. I don't know who would be like better. So I'm excited to like look at that, break that down, and I have like some interesting things that I want to mess around with, and it I think involves like the question of GOAT, like who is it? Because I want to see, like I want to be able to go back, and I've always been interested in seeing like everybody from like back in the day, what, because I've never really looked at it. It's always been stories of people who have played with them or like relevance at the time. So I have like something to pull from, but prior to that, like I need the before I started playing disc golf, like where everybody
yeah, but
was at.
what would you compare that would give you some kind of insight that you
Well,
don't
I'm
already
just
have?
curious of like the information.
Yeah.
And then I don't know like where I'd be going from there. I have like this theory, and I'm trying to do the, you know, scientific method type thing, and just seeing like, does this make sense? Because right now it makes sense, but now it needs to be done for me to see like, is it actually going to work out how I think it's going to work out, or maybe it's going to be better than what I think it's going to be, or it's like impossible. I don't know until like I try and see.
Yeah, but like, so in stats, like what stats would show you in some way that somebody was better than someone else?
I don't know. And that's what I'm trying to see, because I want it to be, I want to see ratings over time, changes, and like what kind of fluctuation they have. Like how consistently were they at over 1,000 rated or over 1030 rated for how long, or like how many tournaments defined that rating. Like you could play one tournament and be 1040 rated versus a guy who's played 100 tournaments and is 1040 rated.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, the guy who's played 100 tournaments and is 1040 rated is higher rated versus the guy who's played one, even though they're the same, because he's got more proof of he's actually 1040 rated versus the guy who's kind of got, not that he got lucky, but it could be misconstrued as he got lucky.
Right.
And then the tournaments that are like, how many tournaments has this person won? And then like a random curiousness of like, how many did they win by at that tournament? I think would be like, I don't know. That's something that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to interpret later on, but I want to be able to like look and see. And that's when I had all that, I was like, all that sounds like an insane amount of work. I'm going to ask Rob and see, because he'll be able to give me an answer. And he was, I felt bad, but like, I appreciate it too. So shout out Rob again. Like, we can't shout you out enough. He was like, give me an hour or two to whip something up. It's just like, dude, you don't need to do all that, but I'm not going to tell you not to.
Right.
Because I really do want to see. So I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, I just like, there's so many things with disc golf in terms of like statistics that are interesting. But I don't know how they factor into like someone being great.
Yeah.
You know, like you can be like that guy. Like this is the person that held a rating over this point for the longest period of time. This is the guy that held a rating over this point for the most amount of tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
This is the person that won the most tournaments with at least, you know,
Right.
20 people that were 1,000 rated or higher in the competition field.
Right.
You know, like there's a lot of ways to kind of try to quantify what a win means. Because
Yeah.
like going out to a B tier by your house and there's one other 1,000 rated plus player there, but you've won that tournament the last 8 years. That's 8 wins.
Right.
What do those 8 wins mean? I don't know.
Right.
And then if you've gone out and you have like 20 wins, but all 20 wins are at like, you know, are in fields of like 60 or more with 20 or more people that are 1,000 rated plus. What does that mean? What if you spent your whole career just constantly playing the same 10 courses?
Yeah.
And like one of those courses you won all the tournaments at every year.
Right. And that's, I don't know. I know there's just going to be a lot into it because there's going to be, I'm trying to get like as much out of it as I can. And another thing that's going to have to be a part of it is going to be UDisc. And that was one thing that Rob was saying is like, because he wants the same thing because there's a lot of really good stats in there and stuff. Like they're the only one that has inside like your putting percentage and from this and that and whatever fairways hit and everything. And he's like, he really wants to do it. He's just yet to figure out a way to do it to where he basically codes it in to where like Excel pulls it from whatever like he's got for the PDGA.
Yeah.
Because eventually, like even if it was the first, like if it's half, so like the first half is PDGA, the second half is UDisc. Well, if I have to input UDisc like manually, I'm fine with because now I don't have to do the PDGA thing, even though this will probably take a number
Way too
of
long.
hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like big time. And then like the updating it and everything, like it would take like a long time.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. But I don't know what that's going to look like. But that's like the idea I had and something that's kind of like bounced around in my head for a minute now. And it was finally like, let's just fucking see what happens.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Downward spiral into like Scientology-esque, like, oh my God, I'm so interested and I'm just going to like go down this fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, you know, for me, I really get interested in, and it'll be, I hate to say interested so many times, but it'll be interesting to see just how the sport evolves and who plays what roles in it evolving, you know? And I think like it being such a young sport, like there's so much to happen still. There's so much going on, but there's key figures to come through the evolution of any sport. And I'm just looking forward to like who those people are, what role they play and how it goes.
Yeah.
You know? And, I think those people, you watch it and it's more of like an eye test and it's more of like a feeling because the impact that they have on the sport or the community or whatever is more emotional than it is like statistical. So there's like, I'm a numbers guy. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of looking at like people shaping the sport or doing whatever, moving things forward or being the greatest of all time or doing any of that stuff, like, I don't think you can really quantify that stats wise.
Yeah.
Because like Schustrick winning the 2 USDGCs, right? Like he'd also go out and fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you look at like that time frame, he didn't win worlds. You know, like there's other stuff that happened. But if you were like, who impacted disc golf the most in that time frame? Like who were the top 3 people to impact disc golf the most?
Yeah.
Like the fact that he won 2 USDGCs, you'd be like, well, obviously he's one of the guys. But even if he didn't win the USDGC, you'd still have to look at it and be like, dude had a huge impact on disc golf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like stats is one way to look at it and all that, but there's another, like the story of the sport, you know, comes down to like people's impact on how people play the sport in the future and what the sport looks like and, you know, how, I don't know, how people approach stuff.
Yeah. Because I want to see how much hard facts, like numbers wise, I can get out of it.
Yeah.
Like what, like as much as humanly possible. And like, I think the thing that pushed me over of like, all right, let's do it, or like try to get the ball rolling, was watching Moneyball.
Yeah.
And then just seeing like that being broken down, and then it's however it's romanticized in the movie or whatever, but at some point, like the people, obviously it was, how can you break down building a sports team based on stats? Like this dude's girlfriend's fucking a troll, and then this guy, that guy, yada yada yada. Like it's basically playing like we're building a team based off their social media presence kind of thing or whatever, which made like no sense. And then I was getting mad in the movie. Like, did they really think that like this or whatever? And then are they surprised that like stats now plays like a role in yada yada yada? Again, a guy like basically just finding out what sports are.
Yeah.
Like this is like, if this is all like old news to you, like I'm basically brand new at this. Like I'm just discovering
like
this
me.
basically. Yeah.
You're like me.
Yeah.
Hey, have you guys ever played Tony Hawk 2? Yeah, dude. Yeah. 5 years ago. Dude, it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I've already beat the shit out of it.
So they had so what you're talking about is analytics, right? And so
Yeah.
analytics, baseball is like the biggest analytics sport. Football is becoming more analytics,
Mhm.
and basketball is hugely analytics now. But baseball, they had a like anti-analytics moment last year for the World Series.
Okay.
So they had a stat on a pitcher after so many pitches, his performance goes down.
Mm-hmm.
So they make decisions in terms of like him pitching based on his analytics.
Mm-hmm.
So it's during the World Series. He's like 6 innings in,
Yeah.
shutout, like fucking on fire.
Yeah.
And they pull him because the analytics say in the next 20 pitches, it's going to go to shit.
Yeah.
So pull him. They put the next guy in, and the next guy just got roasted.
Really?
Yeah, they're just
Oh
putting
my
it out in the
God.
seats, everything else, and they lost the game.
Yeah.
And everybody went batshit crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, there's analytics to help you. But there's also like all the years that you've watched baseball that you're watching this guy on the mound. Like, dude, that guy's feeling it today.
Yeah.
Like, what does feeling it today mean to analytics?
Right.
And what does that mean to like managing? Because you can't, it's been proven that if you manage on stats, you'll be more successful than managing on gut.
Right.
But there has to be some level of
I think
gut.
you're balancing both of them for sure.
Yeah, you
I
have.
think usually in almost like anything, that like when I was taking like the what business class it was, I forget. And it was like one of those trick questions where you have like authoritative and whatever 3 managerial styles it was. Like, what's the best one? And the answer is all of them. Basically, you just have to know when to implement it or whatever. Because if
Yeah.
you're always authoritarian, people are going to want to choke you out all the time, and then whether you know it or not, and then you're just always going to be a giant Travis.
Yeah.
So,
The funniest
Yeah.
thing to me with analytics is chess.
yeah,
Because chess is analytics.
yeah,
All it is like knowing all of that stuff for all of those variables is
Yeah.
chess. And then once you get all of that like hardwired into your brain, you then come down to feel.
yeah,
Like it just is years and years and years of learning all of the analytics.
yeah,
And then having all that hardwired into your brain so hard that like you're no longer thinking about that, and now you're back to feel.
yeah,
Yeah. Which is crazy.
yeah,
But like those guys that are like grandmaster or girls, those people that are grandmasters, like you just spent God knows how many years like just learning all the analytics.
Right.
If they open with this, odds are these are the odds that they're going to do this. These are the odds they're going to
Yeah.
do that. There's the odds they're going to do this.
yeah. It's crazy.
If their
like,
second move is this is the smartest way to defend it because it's most likely, and you're just learning all that stuff, and then eventually you just get to like you're back to feel.
yeah, and that to me, like, I know how to play chess to a degree, but that card game, Magic the Gathering, is basically card chess, like in my mind, because you're
Yeah.
basically doing the same thing, and there's the same outcome. Like if somebody's playing this type of card or this color or whatever, chances are this, and there's people that are just insanely good at the game because their ability to just guess what's going to happen or how close they are to do it, and then just playing around that, even though they have like their matchup is like what it's called, like what they're playing with versus what you're playing against, they can play around what their rating out of you, and then they can like therefore play better than you, like outplay you. It's a really interesting thing, rather than if both people are on the same playing field and you just have the worst deck, then you're just going to lose. Isn't always the case. I don't know. It's a really interesting game. I watch people just do drafts and stuff all day long because I like how they think.
Yeah.
And that's all I do. Like, I don't really play it so much, but there's two people that are extremely smart. One is Luis Scott Vargas, and then the other guy, his name's Caleb Gannon, that he just recently got his doctorate in, oh my God, what is it? Like something to do with your eyes or whatever. But this guy, he has a really interesting voice. Like, it sounds like he's got a lot of like, it's weird to like for somebody to sound really smart just based on how they say words, but that's like how I think about this guy. And then that came out and it's like, that makes a lot of sense. Because like how he diagnoses everything and breaks everything down is really interesting. And then he saves all of his games that he plays and then just breaks it down like analytically. And he made a video that was like 2.5 hours long based on every single game he played in like this format. And then now he like builds stuff around like what actually worked in those games and the win rates of like decks that had this card in it and whatever. And it was like a super cool thing. And I was like, again, how can I do that to like disc golf? Like how will that make sense? Because how he does it there makes sense, but how do you do that for people playing these tournaments and whatever? Like, I don't know. It's a really interesting thing. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's to a certain degree, people play with it because what we were talking about, like, are there enough ace holes on Pro Tour? And it's like, yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah.
It's just not the most successful move to try to ace those holes.
Yeah.
When you're trying to win a tournament.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
If you were playing for ace pool.
Yeah.
If you drove all the way to Jonesboro to try to win the ace pool, it might make sense to just try to run everything.
Yeah, and I think aces are usually like accidents. Like, how many times are people like actually trying to go for it versus the shot they're throwing just sets up for an ace run no matter what? Like, I remember, do you remember at Worlds when Schuster got like a 450-foot hyzer ace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucking absurd.
Yeah.
But like, he's also set up to be able to ace run that just because of the shot itself versus like...
It was a skip, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just skipped right in.
Yeah.
Like it could have just sat and he was parked, or like it could have skipped and shot the fuck off, but boom, in. Nice. Versus like what is Green Mountain Championships? I think it's hole 2 or 3. That's like the straight tunnel shot, and then you have Obi behind it, and it's on an elevated basket. Chances are like people throwing a shot that's going to be an ace run type line are pretty minimal, because I think everyone's keeping it kind of low, throwing it at low speed so they're not going fast, and they're just trying to park it. So the chances that you accidentally ace it, you probably threw, like, in my opinion, you like, whoa, really got a hold of that one.
Yeah.
Like the basket got in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most aces I've gotten, at least in the last few years, have all been like, I'm going to ace this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I've gotten like a lucky ace where I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
That worked out.
Yeah.
I think they've been like, I'm running this.
Yeah.
You know?
I have off the top of my head, I have one lucky ace, and it's Stony Blue. It's now the par 4 that's got the 3 tee pads. Do you remember when it was just 2 tee pads and the basket was shorter and it was like a small downhill shot? Do you know what hole I'm talking about? Stony Green. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Green. Okay, so 1, right, straight up over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
2 around the thing. 3 is the weird little whatever.
Mm-hmm.
4,
mm-hmm.
5 is the first shorty.
Yep.
6, so 7.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be the short pad. So you had the middle pad was the long pad, and then the basket was short. And I threw this white ESP Buzz, and there used to be like a stick tree in the middle, like 3/4 of the way down the fairway.
Yeah.
Clipped the right side of that. Like the disc was going at the basket, and then clipped it, and it like popped it out on a hyzer, and it came back, and then still aced or whatever. So like, in my mind, I think I aced it no matter what. Rather, if I hit the tree or not, I think it was just gonna go in.
Yeah.
Like, but I think it was totally absolutely lucky.
Yeah.
It just did it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing, I threw all overhand, so I got no aces.
Yeah.
Right? Because like the thumber tomahawk ace is very rare. And I remember I took my buddy Jason out. It was like the first year he'd been playing, and he did that. He threw it, and it hit a branch, swept Coldbrook, hit a branch, came out, and then went in. And I remember I was so pissed. I was like, fuck this, because everybody I knew had aces. And I was like, God damn. Like, I would win all the time.
Yeah.
But I just never got aces.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, I know I've talked about Chase before in Texas, but he was the guy who would never get aces, but would have second shot throw-ins like from where the fuck ever. It was just fucking insane. Yeah, it was great.
Cool. You ready to work out?
Yeah, are you?
I'm ready.
Wow,
We
I'm
we might need more pre-workout. I'm also tired.
Yeah, I'm good now.
All right.
Yeah.
But after that yawn you just let out a minute ago.
Oh, yeah, it was an exhilarating yawn. I'm just so pumped to work out.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.